Right now at 5, we have new details just in on a crash that shut down all lanes of Highway 92 overnight.
And expect a lot of traffic on campus this weekend. It's move-in time, and we are inside one of the campus's newly renovated dorms. Some lucky new students will soon call home.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning. It is 6 o'clock on your Thursday, August 29th. Obviously, my brain is not...
We turned to Josh, we're like, what?
What?
5 o'clock?
You guys are like looking at me as I'm trying to finish the headline. I'm just
bag of laughs here this morning.
Yeah, I'm just too
Friday.
focused on what's behind us this morning. This is incredible. If you haven't looked outside, do that this morning because it's a great start to the morning.
It really is, and it's going to be warmer. If you were thinking, oh, we've been a little cool lately, temperatures will be back up to around 80 today. A nice morning, but some showers and thunderstorms are in the forecast this afternoon. Here's the view from the WISC-TV Skycam here on the west side of town. Just as nice. Sun comes up at 6:18 this morning. Here's a look at your visibility. We have been watching a little bit of fog through the Wisconsin River Valley. Boscobel is at visibility less than a mile right now, but it's pretty isolated to that low-lying spot. Temperatures are colder than they were this time yesterday, so it is a chilly start to the day once again. Temps are in the 40s and 50s across the region, but we'll have a nice warm-up today to highs right around 80 degrees. Southwesterly winds are going to be responsible for that warm-up, but you are going to notice a bit more humidity for a couple of hours at least as well. That chance for showers and thunderstorms is in the forecast. We'll talk more about that in Maine weather. Here's a look at your traffic report this morning. Some brake lights on Stoughton Road right around the Beltline. That's pretty typical for this time of the day. No other major issues to report right now. In and around Dane County, travel is all looking to be going at posted speeds on those major routes into Madison.
Josh, you're just trying to turn back the clock so you can spend an extra hour with me before I leave on vacation.
Or maybe I'm just trying to... Just kidding. Isn't your flight tonight, right now at 5 o'clock?
Yeah, that's what he's
She's
trying to do
already in
here.
a vacation state of mind.
So yesterday we were laughing about the Rachel gif from Friends. That episode was on TV yesterday.
Was
like
it?
the
Yeah.
get out, get out, get out.
The gif is Josh trying to get me out the door onto my vacation.
No, we're gonna miss you.
We will miss you. You're gonna have fun though.
I'll send you pictures of Buffalo.
All right, good luck. There's no Wi-Fi there.
Just don't get eaten.
Okay. Thank you, Addie.
You're welcome.
All right, time right now is 6:02, and we have an update to breaking news we've been following this morning. One person is facing life-threatening injuries after a crash in Springdale overnight. The Dane County Sheriff's Department says the crash happened on Highway 92 just north of County Highway G. They say the driver failed to make a curve and hit an embankment before rolling over on the highway. The 25-year-old man driving the car was ejected and med-flighted to the hospital. All lanes of Highway 92 were closed for around 4 hours because of that crash.
Also into the Channel 3000 Alert Center this morning, 6 volunteers from Wisconsin are heading to Florida to help locals prepare and recover from Hurricane Dorian. Forecasters say the storm could turn into a Category 3 hurricane and hit Florida by the holiday weekend. Dorian pounded the U.S. Virgin Islands just yesterday as a Category 1. President Trump has declared a state of emergency in that territory and ordered federal assistance.
New this morning, services will be held this weekend for a teenager killed in Fitchburg on Sunday. 17-year-old Shay Watson was found shot to death in a home on Lyman Lane. Visitations will be held Friday and Saturday at Gunderson Fitchburg Funeral and Cremation Care. A celebration of life will follow the Saturday visitation starting at 2:30 Saturday afternoon. Fitchburg police still haven't announced any arrests or suspects for this homicide investigation. The victim's family and friends have started a GoFundMe page, saying the money will go to anyone with information leading to an arrest in that case.
Bond is set this morning at $1 million for the man accused in Madison's first homicide of 2019. 58-year-old Lou Jefferson is accused in last Friday's stabbing death of 30-year-old Amanda Woods. Her body was found near the Salvation Army on the east side. The criminal complaint suggests Jefferson approached Woods at a gas station about pooling their money for a cocaine purchase. It led to an argument over $10, which then led to that stabbing. The man accused of crashing a car into the Beaver Dam Middle School and causing that scene right there is due in court today. 22-year-old Roy Cortez is facing 1 count of fleeing an officer and causing property damage. Police were responding to a domestic incident when they say Cortez sped off at over 80 miles an hour before crashing into the school. That crash caused a fire and $100,000 worth of structural damage. Cortez is facing up to 6 years in prison if he's convicted.
A man accused of sexually assaulting a student while working as a substitute teacher is scheduled to be sentenced this morning. 26-year-old Tyler Edge was arrested last year after being accused of repeatedly sexually assaulting a 14-year-old student while working at Beloit Memorial High School. The student reported more than 20 incidents that allegedly took place inside Edge's classroom and office at Beloit Memorial. Edge allegedly sent an email to the student admitting what he did was wrong.
A teacher in the McFarland School District is facing charges this morning. Police arrested 4th grade teacher Andrew Meeks on multiple counts, including suspicion of child enticement. Police say this is an intensive investigation into his activities involving a child. Officers haven't said where this is alleged to have happened. The case is currently under review by the Dane County DA.
McFarland Superintendent Andrew Burdell declined to do an on-camera interview with us, but said in a statement that the school district is saddened about the arrest of and charges filed against Andrew Meeks, and that the district is cooperating with law enforcement, but is focused on making sure the events don't negatively impact back-to-school activities for all of their students. Burdell says he doesn't have much information about the investigation, but will update us on Meeks' employment status when he learns more. For now, 2 veteran teachers will teach the 4th grade. The superintendent emailed parents letting them know what resources are available for students.
Madison police are asking for your help this morning as they continue to look for a suspect in an attempted sexual assault near the UW campus. They released these surveillance videos of a man they believe is involved in an incident Sunday morning along North Francis Street. 2 UW-Madison students say their friend was alone in her apartment when she woke up at 4 a.m. to a man standing over her with a flashlight in her face, trying to remove her pants.
I guess it's just pretty scary because we live in that building and it's you should feel safe in where you live and just around campus on Madison.
All right, here's that photo now. If you know the identity of the man right there, Madison police ask you to contact their department.
The attorneys who represented the 2 complainants in the Quintez Cephas case are calling for an investigation into the decision to reverse his expulsion from UW-Madison. Cephas was acquitted of sexual assault charges earlier this month and was readmitted to the UW. In a statement, the complainant's attorneys called on university officials to consider how their public's comments impact their clients, saying reversing Cephas's expulsion undermines the credibility of the entire Title IX system at UW, sending a message that students who are victims of sexual assault cannot trust administrators.
All right, 6:07 your time now. Our back-to-school coverage continues this morning with the popular residence hall on the UW campus that's about to get busier.
Yeah, 2.5 years and $53 million later, UW-Madison's Whitty Hall is ready for the Badger class of 2023. And that's where we find Christina Laurie live this morning with an inside look. Hi, Christina.
Hi, Josh and Leah. Leah, I know you know this in particular, being a UW alum, but Whitty Hall has long been one of the most popular dorms here on campus. This year is popularity at an all-time high because of these recent renovations. 2.5 years in the making. Brendan from University Housing is with us this morning. Thank you so much for waking up and showing us around. So what area of the building are we standing in now?
So this is kind of the main lobby. We're part of the central kind of corridor that we added to connect all the towers. All common space, added a lot of common space in the renovation to give students a nice place to hang out and gather.
So the formerly 2 towers were combined into one, but that was just one of the additions made. What features are in the new rooms?
Yeah, so all the rooms are now air-conditioned, central air conditioning and room controls in each one. We added an 11th floor on the top of the building to add a few more spaces. New bathrooms expanded and much nicer than they used to be. And lots of just high-speed Wi-Fi in all the rooms. So just a lot of new features there.
And there will be thousands of students and their families moving to campus this weekend. But even if you're not part of that move, and you might still be affected.
Yeah, so there'll be a lot of traffic Saturday and Sunday around, especially kind of the downtown campus area. There'll be some streets closed off specifically for move-in parking and move-in traffic right around Dayton Street and Francis and Park Street downtown on campus around this area.
And so if any family is headed down to the Taste of Madison, any tips for them?
I would say just kind of stay on the main, like University and Johnson streets. For people who are moving in on the weekend, we want people to come in to kind of avoid the isthmus because of Taste of Madison, because traffic will be pretty busy there, but it's a great place to stop after you've moved your student in if you want to get some food and sample the local food.
But you've called move-in days a well-oiled machine. They've been doing this for years and years, although it's the first new year here at Whitty, Josh and Leah. So expect delays mainly on Saturday and Sunday, but students are already starting to trickle in.
Christina, I don't know if you knew what nickname Whitty used to have. We can't say it on air. Rhymes with pretty.
Yeah, I did. I've been told by our bosses that I probably shouldn't use that term anymore, right?
It looks beautiful, though.
I think you guys like your jobs enough that you probably shouldn't say it.
Yeah, I think we're all right. Christina Laurie, thank you very much. 6:10 your time now. New data shows alcohol-related crashes kill nearly 200 people in Wisconsin every year.
In Dodge County alone, the sheriff believes 4 deaths this year have been alcohol-related. Starting this week, deputies will be posting pictures and information of all of those arrested for driving while intoxicated. There have been 6 in the past week. 12 years ago, Michael Clemmy would have been featured in one of those pictures on Facebook, and now he's asking anyone who's been drinking to stay out of the driver's seat.
There is a phone call away, an Uber, take the Shoelace Express. Even if you got to call that ex-girlfriend, you really don't want to do it.
For many on Facebook, posting people's pictures is more of a complex issue. The first post has 350 comments and counting, with one saying this makes me very uncomfortable, and many worried about publicly shaming those who haven't been found guilty yet. We reached out to a number of those upset by the new social media policy, but haven't heard back yet. The Sheriff's Department post says while all the arrest information is public record, it is important to note that everyone is innocent until proven guilty.
Still ahead this morning, as you're packing your students' school supplies into their backpack, you might want to be mindful of how much their bags weigh. Coming up, we're talking with our medical expert, Dr. Mandira Mehra, about all of the dangers of an overloaded book bag.
But first, let's take another live look outside on a Thursday morning. Just a beautiful start out there. Crisp and cool, but we're going to be warming things up. Close to 80 degrees today, but a chance of a pop-up shower and storm is also going to be around. Patty will have that forecast. You're watching News 3 Now this morning. We thank you for that, and we will be right back.
Good morning from the Hattie-O patio. We're just a couple of minutes away from the sunrise this morning. Skies are clear, so we have a great view of it on the WISC-TV sky camera shot. Nice sunrise underway, lots of color in the sky. Enjoy the sunshine this morning because we do have a chance for some rain coming in later today. On Doppler track around here, things are pretty quiet, but we'll zoom the map out a little bit and you can see that there are a couple of areas of shower and thunderstorm activity. One in the Arrowhead region of Minnesota, the other one moving through western Iowa. I do think that line will start to fill in as we go through the next couple of hours as a cold front moves in. The Storm Prediction Center has moved the slight risk for severe weather into far southern Wisconsin, basically from a line from Madison, Milwaukee, and all points to the south. The risk for severe storms, though, here is pretty limited. These showers and thunderstorms will actually move through early in the afternoon. The cold front is across central Minnesota right now, but it will be tracking eastward through the morning. Temperatures out ahead of that front, especially to the south, are quite mild. 66 in Des Moines right now, almost 70 degrees in Omaha. Contrast that with 55 here in Madison. So the air is still pretty dry. Temperatures dropped into the 50s once again overnight. Dew points are expected to climb, though, as we go through the day. Take a look at our current temperatures here in southern Wisconsin. Some 40s on the map. Juneau and Watertown are at 49. Boscobel's down to 47. We're at 55, though, actually up a couple of degrees here in Madison. Those dew points are in the 50s right now, but they'll get into the 60s for at least a couple of hours this afternoon, so you'll definitely notice that increase in humidity. Future track forecast model says expect dry weather through the morning hours. By lunchtime, though, those showers and isolated thunderstorms already approaching the Dells. They'll move through the Madison area probably around 2 o'clock this afternoon and then exit pretty quickly to the south and east. So by 7 o'clock, we're back to dry weather. Humidity will be dropping behind this front and pleasant weather returns for the end of the week. Your precipitation amounts with this storm are expected to be on the light side because these showers and isolated thunderstorms will move through the area pretty quickly. Here's a look at your extended forecast then. We have temperatures back in the 70s tomorrow after hitting a high of 80 this afternoon, 74 on Friday. Still a chance for some rain, mainly south of Madison along the state line on Saturday. Otherwise, a pretty nice weekend setting up with highs in the 70s. Now let's get a look at your First Alert traffic update this morning with Josh Tim. Good morning, Josh.
Yeah, good morning. Another quiet start on the Beltline so far. Really nothing to slow you down heading in either direction at the moment. Checking out some other roads here in Dane County, there are a few brake lights up and down East Washington near 1st Street and the usual brake lights on northbound side of Verona Road as you approach the Beltline ramps. No delays downtown on campus. Volume shouldn't be an issue at least for another hour or so. And other main routes coming into the city, they're moving at the posted speeds with no major crashes or delays. Your First Alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
All right, this time next week, chances are your kids will be bringing home plenty of homework. But if they load up those new backpacks with too many books and binders, they could be at risk of doing some real harm.
Oh, yeah. Dr. Mandira Mera is joining us this morning to tell us more on how you can pick the right backpack for your kids and avoid those backaches. This is really important. Coming from someone who carries a camera, I know what serious damage you can do to your backs.
It's true. And if you think about it, Leah, we're adults now, or, at least young adults, but our spines are mostly developed. Think about being a school-age child. And basically for 12 years at that really crucial stage, carrying a backpack that may be 10 to 20% or more of your weight, and that spine is still developing. So things that we want to prevent is really that back injury, muscle spasms, neck aches, potentially headaches, and oftentimes children are unable to voice these concerns. They're unable to say, hey, mom and dad, my backpack's hurting, or my bag is hurting me, that kind of thing. So we do have some helpful tips for parents as well. First of all, keeping in mind that often kids like to pick their own bag. I remember when I was in school many moons ago, I loved to just pick the prettiest thing or the coolest thing, or kids will pick the best superhero that they like.
Right.
But parents, it's really important to look for backpacks that have some safety features. Number one is double straps. Very important for that equal weight distribution. Second is straps that really have that padding, possibly a chest strap or even that waistband, even though it's not really cool, I know. But again, it helps with that weight distribution. Sticking to about 10%, that's the guideline. So about 10% of a child's body weight, no more than that. And that, of course, is really important in that young age. As they get older, sometimes 15, 20% might be okay. But really evaluating now, is this too much weight on a child's back? And then, of course, reminding them, even though it might be cool to just carry it on one shoulder, really using both of those straps and ergonomically keeping yourself upright. You know, in today's day and age, we always talk about texting and having our heads down, our necks down. So that's contributed. You see kids nowadays walking around, leaning forward, heavy backpacks, texting and Snapchatting, Facebook, whatever at the same time, making sure that backpack is not too much below the waistline. So 4 to 6 inches is probably too much.
Okay.
You really want to look at between the shoulder blades and the waist. If you have any questions or you're not sure, of course, talking to your pediatrician, family doctor, your favorite pain doctor, also reaching out to your school district. Every school district does have something called occupational therapy. And while they are there to help kids with special needs disabilities, they can also help with issues like this. I know it's not super cool, but a lot of kids are using backpacks with wheels on them. So they're backpacks, but they also have that wheel distribution. I have had a couple parents tell me that it was very helpful to purchase a second set of books. They said, you know what, between chemistry, biology, math, all this stuff, they use their older siblings' books or neighbors' books. May not be economically feasible, but if you are able to get a second set of books for home, that may kind of help the burden. Think about everything kids are carrying these days. They've got the textbooks, the homework, the laptop, the tablet, the phone, the lunch. I mean, it really feels like the weight of the shoulder is on these kids' shoulders. And so anything we can do to really help alleviate that will not only help them acutely in the critical situation where they're using their backpacks on a daily basis, but potentially into adulthood, maybe preventing some of that spine injury and really promoting healthy spines.
Some really good advice there. Thank you so much, Dr. Mara.
Stay with News 3 Now this morning for more local news. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back at 6:24 on a Thursday morning, and a beautiful start out there, Hads.
It really is. Loving these temperatures in the 50s overnight. Very comfortable sleeping weather. Sun is up now. You can see on the WISC-TV Skycam. a beautiful morning ahead, but there is a chance for some rain. We'll talk about that in just a second. Here's the satellite and radar trend. Some rain to the north and to the west this morning. In between, right now relatively quiet, but I would expect those two areas of precipitation to begin to fill in as we go through the next couple of hours. They'll all work their way towards southern Wisconsin this afternoon. The severe weather outlook for today does have a slight risk area for far south central and southeastern Wisconsin. Again, a cold front moving through during the afternoon may set off some strong to severe thunderstorms, but those stronger storms will likely be pretty isolated. The timing on this rain is actually a little bit earlier than what we typically see. Typically we see 5 to 7 p.m. It's actually shifted earlier by a couple of hours. We'll start to see that rain in our northern viewing area by the lunch hour and then moving into Madison between 2 and 4, but exiting pretty quickly. You see how quickly those rain chances diminish this evening. Our forecast today has high temperatures right around 80 this afternoon, so much warmer than yesterday. I think you are going to notice an increase in the humidity, at least for a couple of hours this afternoon. The humidity exits, though, with that front later today, and we turn back to pleasant conditions as we head right through the upcoming weekend. A chance for rain on Saturday, but then dry weather returns for Sunday and Labor Day Monday. There is an outside chance for rain on Tuesday, but looks like it stays pretty comfortable for that first week of school for many of the students.
All right, thank you very much, Hattie. Milwaukee's City Health Department is urging residents to immediately stop using vaping products. This comes after 16 people were hospitalized this month with severe lung disease. A statement from the department says all patients reported vaping in the weeks and months before they became ill with inflammation of the lungs they call chemical pneumonia. 10 counties reported these kinds of hospitalizations. Officials are still trying to figure out which products were used by these people who were hospitalized.
A bipartisan group of state lawmakers want to raise the minimum age for buying tobacco and nicotine products, including vaping materials. It would bump the age from 18 to 21. It would prohibit anyone from selling or providing vaping paraphernalia like vape pens to anyone who is younger than 21. Supporters of the bill say raising the age could keep these products out of the hands of young people who are more likely to become addicted to products like vape pens or e-cigs. Local vape stores say they don't think this will solve the public health crisis.
The CDC is looking into nearly 200 possible cases of severe lung disease tied to the use of e-cigarettes across the country. Those were reported in at least 22 states, including here in Wisconsin.
The head of the most popular e-cigarette company, Juul, calls the reports worrisome in his first televised interview. Juul CEO Kevin Burns says he's in contact with the CDC.
If there was any indication that there was an adverse health condition related to our product, I think we'd take very swift action associated with it.
A new study finds a growing number of middle school and high school students, about a third, are exposed to secondhand e-cigarette aerosols from being around people who vape.
All right, still ahead this morning, we have the top 3 things you need to know as you head out the door to this gorgeous sunrise.
And also ahead, it is move-in time on UW's campus this weekend. What you need to know to help your favorite Badger get settled into their dorm. That's next on News 3 Now this morning.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for staying with us on this Thursday, August 29th. A chance for some potential severe weather later today. We'll get to Hattie's forecast here in just a little bit.
But first, here are the top 3 things you need to know on your Thursday. Bond is set at $1 million for the man accused in Madison's first homicide of 2019. 58-year-old Lou Jefferson is accused in last Friday's stabbing death of 30-year-old Amanda Woods outside the Eastside Salvation Army. The criminal complaint says Jefferson had asked her about pooling their money for a cocaine purchase. It allegedly led to an argument over $10, which then led to that stabbing.
The second story we're following this morning, memorial services will be held this weekend for the Fitchburg teen shot to death Sunday. The celebration of life for 17-year-old Shay Watson will be held at Gunderson Fitchburg Funeral and Cremation Care. That's taking place at 2:30 Saturday afternoon. Fitchburg police still haven't announced any arrests or suspects in that homicide investigation.
And the third story we're following this morning, 6 volunteers from Wisconsin are heading to Florida to help locals prepare and recover from Hurricane Dorian. Forecasters say the storm could turn into a Category 3 hurricane and hit Florida by the holiday weekend. Dorian pounded the U.S. Virgin Islands just yesterday as a Category 1. President Trump has declared a state of emergency in that territory and ordered federal assistance.
Those are your top 3 things you need to know today. And Hattie's here now with what you need to know with weather and traffic. Hi, Hads.
Good morning, Josh and Leah. As you head out the door this morning, lots of sunshine will greet you. Our view from the Edgewater Skycam just missed a crew boat that was going through the frame of the camera shot there this morning. Skies are clear, though. We're off to a nice crisp start to the day. A little bit of fog through the Wisconsin River Valley, but it is confined to those lower lying spots this morning. Temperatures are in the 40s and 50s. Madison's actually one of the warmer spots at 55 this morning. Watertown has been fluctuating between 49 and 50 degrees. Boscoville and Lone Rock, though, pretty consistently down in the 40s for the last several hours. As you head out the door this morning, again, sunglasses needed early on, but some showers and thunderstorms are expected this afternoon. They'll come to an end early this evening. Here's a look at your traffic maps early today. Here in Madison, a few brake lights on the Beltline right around Park Street and Stoughton Road. Those are the typical spots, but no other major delays. No accidents to report, just a little slower than normal in the construction area on Verona Road. And that's your First Alert traffic.
Hattie, thank you very much. We have an update to breaking news we've been tracking all morning. One person is facing life-threatening injuries after a crash in Springdale overnight. The Dane County Sheriff's Office says the crash happened on Highway 92 just north of County Highway G. They say the driver failed to make a curve and hit an embankment before rolling over onto the highway. A 25-year-old man driving the car was ejected and med-flighted to the hospital. All lanes of Highway 92 were closed for around 4 hours because of that crash.
6:34 your time now. If you are driving around campus over the next few days, you can expect some delays as the Badger class of 2023 gets ready to move in starting Saturday.
Yeah, and this year, new students have a practically new dorm to call home. I know Leah Linscheid is a little jealous of that. Christina Laurie is getting a tour of the newly renovated Whitty Hall this morning. Hi, Christina.
Hi, Josh and Leah. This is what $53 million in 2.5 years of renovations will get you, from an all-new 11th floor to this wonderful lounge area all the way in the basement and everything in between. Brendan from University Housing is here. So what has been the biggest challenge in putting all this work together?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really complex project because we were trying to do this renovation top to bottom of a 55-year-old building to make it feel like a new building from, top to bottom while students were living here during the school year. So, but it really came together nice, added a lot of community space, makes it feel like a new building, less than half the cost of what it would have cost to build a similar new building. So we're really proud of this project.
And there are some energy efficient features. You're going green with this building?
Yeah, so all new windows, the room controls for temperature, air conditioning, and then in all the resident rooms really makes it much more of efficient space and a lot of really great spaces for the students to live in too.
And although thousands of families and students will be moving into this dorm, not everyone is going to be moving in this weekend, but they might still be impacted by move-in?
Yeah, so we're moving in about 6,000 students over the course of Saturday and Sunday this weekend. So there will be some traffic, some roads closed right around this area in the Dayton Street, Francis Mills, Park Street kind of area. So most of that will be reserved for move-in parking those days.
But it's a well-oiled machine. You've done this for dozens of years, so we're ready for it. Thank you so much for talking to us, Brendan. And if you are driving in or around the campus area on Saturday or Sunday, do expect some traffic delays. Josh and Leah.
All right, bringing back memories of my day moving in, huh?
A little different now, though,
Little different, little prettier.
I would say.
Christina Laurie, thank you very much.
All right, coming up in the morning sprint, it is the last game of the Packers preseason tonight, and the battle for backup QB continues.
And we have a special look at an upcoming Do Something Good that's sure to pull at your heartstrings. That's when News 3 Now This Morning returns. All right, we always ask you to share your morning with us. So one of us decided to share our morning with you. This is a pic of our scene outside of the station.
Yeah, this is usually the sunrise. We all kind of like mosey on over to the window after the show because we don't see daylight until after the show.
Especially one of our favorite producers, Miss Ari. She's our overnight producer working on the 4:30 and 5 every day. So she particularly enjoys this site.
Yeah, she gets excited to see that daylight. Thank you so much for sharing, Ari. If you've got a photo of your morning you'd like to share, all you have to do is send it to us over on our Facebook page. Riding a bicycle can mean different things to different people. For one Eastside resident, it's therapeutic, and it's her way of helping people who are battling a deadly disease.
Kristen Matthews has lost too many friends to HIV/AIDS. In fact, around 15 since the 1980s. She knew she wanted to do something, so she started riding her bike to help raise money for AIDS research 20 years ago, then decided to help start Madison's own bike ride 17 years ago.
I've become a ride leader. I mentor new riders. This year I was on the organizing committee of the ride, so I've been very, very involved. The community itself, it's an amazing group of people, and everybody's heart is in the right place.
Unfortunately, the number of riders has dwindled over the years. Tonight, in a special Do Something Good story, Charlotte DeLeste and our photojournalist Kathy King will share Kristen's story and how you can help do something good by joining her in the fight against HIV/AIDS.
Most people never giving up hope. I like that.
Looking forward to that story.
All right, 6:41 is your time right now. Things warming up a little bit more today with highs near 80 degrees. With that heat comes a chance of some thunderstorms later on. Hattie will tell you if and when you're going to need that umbrella coming up next.
But first, it's Thursday, August 29th, and we want to say happy birthday to Abby, Macy, and all the kids turning 3 today. Thanks so much for celebrating with us right here on News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning from the News 3 Now First Alert Weather Center. A nice start across southern Wisconsin this morning. Here's a live look from the Edgewater Skycam out over Lake Mendota, where things are pretty quiet. We'll transition over to the tropics, where it's not so quiet. We had hurricane now, Dorian, Category 1 hurricane passing just to the east of Puerto Rico yesterday, but now out in the open, very warm waters of the Atlantic. So some strengthening is expected over the next couple of days. Right now, a Category 1 storm. We have winds around 85 miles an hour, still moving to the northwest at 13 miles an hour. Now, the latest forecast models taking this storm to the north-northwest, but then eventually turning more westerly. It is expected to strengthen, as I mentioned, to possibly a major hurricane, a Category 3 hurricane, and then approach the Florida coastline as we head through the holiday weekend. This is 10 p.m. on Sunday night. You can see that storm getting pretty close to central Florida. It will move on shore and then weaken rapidly as it does so. But if you have interest in Florida or any plans to travel in that direction over the next few days or week, keep in mind what's happening with Dorian. Here in the upper Midwest, we're watching a cold front. Not quite as major of an event as a hurricane, but a cold front will bring a chance for some rain to southern Wisconsin this afternoon. Timing on that is actually to be a little bit earlier than what we typically see. Now, right now, there are a few areas of showers and thunderstorms, but you see some development down towards Minneapolis. I do expect these two areas to sort of fill in as we go through the morning and then move through southern Wisconsin. The Storm Prediction Center has issued a slight risk for severe weather from Madison and Milwaukee, points to the south, so covering just the far southern part of the state. Now, the risk for severe weather here is rather limited, but there may be some isolated strong to severe thunderstorms with large hail and strong winds being the main threats. Our temperatures this morning, 55 in Madison. We're actually one of the warmer spots. Janesville and Monroe now at 55. Watertown's at 50. Still in the 40s, though, through the Wisconsin River Valley. So a cool start to the day. Dew points this morning are in the 50s, but watch what happens as that front approaches from the north and west. Southwesterly winds pull in warmer, more moist air. So you are going to notice an increase in the humidity. As that front passes, humidity will begin to drop off rather quickly this evening. So just a couple of hours with humid conditions. Your future track forecast model, dry conditions and a southwesterly breeze this morning. By the lunch hour, though, already likely to see some clouds and some rain near the Dells. That activity will continue to work its way through southern Wisconsin. Here in Madison, by about 2 o'clock, we'll likely see some showers or isolated thunderstorms. They roll through pretty quickly, though. By 7 p.m., all the rain has exited to the south and east, and we begin to cool down overnight. Rain amounts will likely be on the light side with this front moving through rather quickly. Here's a look at your extended forecast. One day with highs in the 80s, then we're back into the 70s starting tomorrow. Looks like a pretty nice weekend overall. There still is a chance for rain on Saturday. This is our pet walk forecast time, but this not so much a walk. Maybe we should rename it the pet nap forecast because, well, let's be honest, every day is a good day for a nap, right?
That's us when 9 a.m. comes around.
Gracie, May, Crux, and Shay in Madison.
So
working
cute.
hard.
It's going to be us on the floor of the newsroom in an hour. Thank you very much, Addie.
You're welcome.
Stay with us for the morning sprint. 6:51 is your time for the morning sprint with the most local news to start your Thursday.
We start with an update into the new Channel 3000 Alert Center. One person is facing life-threatening injuries after a crash in Springdale late last night. The Dane County Sheriff's Department says the crash happened on Highway 92, just north of County Highway G. They say the driver failed to make a curve and hit an embankment before rolling over on the highway. The 25-year-old man was ejected from the vehicle and med-flighted to the hospital. All lanes of Highway 92 had to be closed for about 4 hours because of that crash.
Fitchburg police still have not announced any arrests or suspects in its homicide investigation from this weekend. 17-year-old Shay Watson was found shot to death Sunday night in a home on Lyman Lane. The victim's family and friends have started a GoFundMe page. It says the money will go to anyone with information leading to an arrest in that case.
Bond is set at $1 million for the man accused of Madison's first homicide of 2019. 58-year-old Lou Jefferson is accused in last Friday's stabbing death of 30-year-old Amanda Woods. The criminal complaint suggests that Jefferson approached Woods at a gas station about pooling their money for cocaine. It led to an argument over $10, which resulted in the stabbing.
Quiet start this morning, but there is a chance for some strong to severe thunderstorms this afternoon. That slight risk area just getting into far southern Wisconsin. It's going to be a warm and rather humid afternoon as well. Temperatures climbing to the 60s and 70s to highs at 80 degrees later on today.
Thank you very much, Hattie. 6 volunteers from Wisconsin are heading to Florida to help locals prepare and recover from Hurricane Dorian. Forecasters say the storm could turn into a Category 3 hurricane and hit Florida by the holiday weekend. Dorian pounded the U.S. Virgin Islands yesterday as a Category 1. President Trump declared a state of emergency in that territory and ordered federal assistance.
An online search engine is trying to help the Amazon rainforest. Ecosia takes most of its profits and contributes them to tree planting efforts around the world. The company says every 45 searches helps plant 1 tree. Search engine has pledged to plant 2 million trees in Brazil in response to those fires. The man accused of sexually assaulting a student while working as a substitute teacher in Beloit is scheduled to be sentenced this morning. The student reported more than 20 incidents that allegedly took place inside Edge's classroom and office at Beloit Memorial. Edge allegedly sent an email to the student admitting what he did was wrong.
A teacher in the McFarland School District is facing charges this morning. Police arrested 4th grade teacher Andrew Meeks on multiple counts, including suspicion of child enticement. Police say this is an intensive investigation into his activities involving a child. The case is currently under review by the Dane County DA.
The Oregon School Board is opposing a school resource officer contract proposed by the village, with the board in full opposition. The proposal would have allowed the police officer to store an AR-15 rifle inside the high school. The State Journal reports both sides wanted to continue the RSO program, but one will not be in place until this disagreement is resolved.
Madison police are asking for your help this morning as they continue to look for a suspect in an attempted sexual assault near the UW campus. They released these surveillance videos of a man they believe is involved in an incident Sunday morning along North Francis Street. The suspect was allegedly in a woman's apartment trying to remove her pants while she slept, according to 2 friends.
The attorneys who represented the 2 complainants in the Quintez Cephas case are calling for an investigation into the decision to reverse his expulsion from UW-Madison. Cephas was acquitted of sexual assault charges earlier this month and was readmitted to the UW. The complainant's attorneys say reversing Cephas' expulsion undermines the credibility of the entire Title IX system at UW.
2.5 years and $53 million later, you'd never know Woody Hall was built all the way back in 1964. From a brand new 11th floor to lounges in the basement, the Badger class of 2023 who are getting ready to move in this weekend are certainly a lucky bunch. Woody Hall has routinely been one of the most popular dorms here on the UW campus. About 16% of the more than 7,000 students living in university housing will call Woody home this year. Other renovations include the addition of new air conditioning, furniture, elevators, larger bathrooms. Official move-in days are this Saturday and Sunday, but some early arrivals are already trickling in, so expect delays if you're driving around campus through Welcome Week.
Thank you very much, Christina. A bipartisan group of state lawmakers wants to raise the minimum age for buying tobacco and nicotine products, including vaping materials. It would bump the age from 18 to 21 and would prohibit anyone from selling or providing vaping paraphernalia to anyone who's younger than 21. Supporters of the bill say raising the age could help keep these products out of the hands of young people.
Tonight, the Packers welcome the Kansas City Chiefs to Lambeau Field for their final preseason game of the year. Aaron Rodgers won't play, meaning the battle to see who wins the backup quarterback job between Tim Boyle and Deshaun Kaiser will take center stage. Majority of the starters are also expected to sit in order to avoid any injuries ahead of the start of the season. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m.
All right, 6:56, your turn now. Let's turn over to Josh Tim with a look at your first alert traffic. Hey, Josh.
Hey guys, still no major delays showing up on the Beltline, but the usual crowd definitely showing up on the westbound side of the Beltline between Stoughton Road and West Broadway. Give yourself an extra minute or two on the inbound side of John Nolan, tapping the brakes at Rimrock and then again at Olin Avenue. Rona Road already getting busy approaching the Highway PD intersection from the usual morning crowd. And other main routes coming into the city, they're moving at the posted speeds with no major issues. Your first alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Thank you very much, Josh.
Get enough of this view this morning. A nice quiet start to the day with sunshine across southern Wisconsin. We'll have sun through the morning hours, but look for some more clouds this afternoon with a few scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms passing through the area. It is going to be warmer and a bit more humid today with highs right around 80 degrees. We're back into the 70s then on Friday with lower humidity. A chance for rain on Saturday, but the rest of the holiday weekend looks dry. High temperatures will be in the 70s even as we head into next week.
Boy, beautiful sunrise out there to start our day.
Certainly is.
Thank you very much, Hattie.
Leah, enjoy your vacation.
Thank you. I'll miss you guys.
Yes, we're going to miss you too. We'll see you next month, and everyone else, we'll see you tomorrow morning. Go make it a great day.